point, I think sometimes that maybe women are tired, then they might be angry. It might be something else, right? And then you speak to your man a certain way. You treat him a certain way. You have an energy about him a certain way. And he feels that. And it could go vice versa.
Marie, I think that you're putting a lot of it on like the woman treating them.
No,
But
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
It's
a lot
vice
of time
versa.
there's a lot of resentment when it comes to like relationships where a man expects a woman to treat him a certain way.
Right.
You have to act a certain way for me to be submissive to you. To me, it's like a lot of time when the woman starts acting a certain way, it's because she's resentful of their husband. Hello, guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Lunchish Hour with Marie and Lonnie.
Yes.
Welcome, you guys. As you know, we moved to Tuesdays. I think this is our second Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our second Tuesday. So join us every Tuesday around lunchish for us to have these really dope in-depth conversations. And let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so an article came out. Well, I don't know if it's directly from it, but I did see this article on the Good Man Project.
Okay.
And it's basically saying American men are no longer interested in American women.
Mm.
And now you got this whole thing going on with passport bros. It's a whole movement
Mm-hmm.
going on. And it's kind of part of that whole sex war thing that's happening. Like, what do you think about that whole narrative of why American men are saying they're no? Because it outlines the details of why you think American men are saying they're not interested in American women.
There's been a couple articles.
Yeah.
Because I was just reading earlier this one thing where they were talking about how some men, and this was like a different situation. Some men go to this chat room from international women, and a lot of times there's no discussion. It's just like a sexual thing. But a lot
Like an OnlyFans thing?
it's like an OnlyFans.
Or webcam
It's like a
model.
webcam, like a
Okay.
webcam situation where it's different women from different countries, and this happens all over the world. And a lot of times the conversations, I don't know if they listen to the conversations, but a lot of times the conversations go in and people are talking about American women are very masculine. They're not feminine enough. They're very. Let me read some.
Look
of
at
the
my
ones.
face.
No, I
see
get
my
it.
face?
Some of the ones that are here, let me read them to you because they said a whole American women are so entitled.
Oh,
Right?
that points it out too. Yeah.
They think that the world belongs to them and they are full of airs. They don't respect me as a man. I need a woman, not competition. They always have an argument and an opinion about everything. There's never any peace in the house, and they have something to say about absolutely everything. They don't take care of themselves.
Ooh, not that
Right?
one.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't take care of themselves as you girls do. That's what it says. I wish my wife looked like you.
Not your wife.
Yes.
So you were on.
Oh, he's married. He's married. Okay, this one says, my ex-wife was all about her career. She never took care of me. So he wanted a mother.
No, men like to be taken care of.
Yeah, but yeah. Women in my country, they just don't know how to be feminine anymore.
In my country.
In my country. I love that you Eastern European girls are so family oriented and sweet, and you are so gorgeous.
I'm feeling like these are a bunch of creepers.
I just think that it says
in this webcam chat. You just
I think it says that what it says. It says the men want the woman to be a certain way, and the woman comply. So I think that a lot of times, I think that that's the issue, that men want women to be a certain way.
Yeah.
And they expect, they're not willing to compromise. They're not willing to have conversations. They just expect you to be that way. And if you're not that way, it's a problem. and they say, well, the women in such and such web chat, whatever situation, it's like they're this way. And then it's like, so, I don't know.
I love how y'all downplay it like it's all geeky guys. There's probably guys that got themselves
No,
together
Nobody
who
said.
choose not to be with combative women.
No. That's not what I'm
Nobody's-
saying. See, that when Lonnie was saying that, it brought my mind back to 90 Day Fiance because everybody know that's my show.
Yeah.
And every dude that's gotten with either a girl, and I'm not isolating these countries, from the Philippines, from Eastern Europe, right? It's always the same specific looking type of dweeb that is getting that girl. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, I can see both sides of the coin because I read the article, right? Like, I don't like when it gets like I don't like when you come for American women and like, oh, they don't, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, but you guys do. I feel like, first of all, they do. Yes, there's cultural parts of it, right? Where it's the cultural norm, but you also don't have a lot of choices. A lot of these women in these countries aren't coming from affluent, wealthy families. They're coming from situations that you marrying her and bringing her to the US, or even if you move there with your retirement package and live like a king, you're going to take her out of a situation that she'll be too happy. You see what I'm saying? To get out of.
I don't necessarily agree. Like, I think that there are some women in other countries that's what they're taught to do.
Yeah,
Like,
culturally.
Yeah, culturally. So it's like, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we are taught that. I was kind of taught this too. Like, when you're married and you have a husband or whatever, you are supposed to cook,
Yeah.
bring the food to your husband,
Yeah.
and do all these things.
Do
And
that.
it's like, okay, but when you live, and I'll say this, an American lifestyle, things change a little bit, especially when you have to work, when both people in the household work.
Yeah.
When your husband is not making all this money and now it's like we both have to work. Whoever, you got home 3 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? I just got home. You expect me to cook?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired, just like you.
Mhm.
I think that there's certain things that just come into play, but a lot of women in other countries, like, they don't necessarily work.
I could see a whole different argument, right? I could see an argument being more like this. The threshold for America has changed for what you could get for the dollar.
Right.
So, meaning that even people are outsourcing, people go to India, people go to other countries to outsource products because it's cheaper. Something equal or of equal value that you could get for $35. Let's just for somebody to do a graphic work for you in another country, it may cost you $2,000 to do it here.
Right.
So maybe is what Lonnie is saying. It's difficult for a woman who just finished working all day
Right.
to be all catering to you. But if Lonnie in that same situation, if this guy was making $900,000 a year, you have a maid, you have a cook, you have people that could help you. So the threshold is just so expensive and the entitlement is attached to it.
Right.
So it's like explaining to the graphic designer here, you can't charge me $2,000, bro. I'm getting it for $35.
See, I think here's the thing. In my opinion, I don't think it's so much. Yes, you're right. Here, the threshold in terms of the dollar, it's not what it used to be. We know single income household is it's a very outdated concept if you live here. But I think it's more of a attitude thing. And I think it becomes an attitude thing. That's when it becomes problematic. I don't think, necessarily it's about the cooking. I think it's how you treat your partner. A man, in my opinion, will always want to be treated as a man. And when you treat a man like a man, that whole, I am tired, oh, babe, don't worry, we'll get takeout. Or babe, I'll start dinner. Do you see what I'm saying? I think that it's not a one point thing. If you treat someone as a whole a certain way, you end up building a partnership with this person, right? And there's no resentment. He doesn't feel like you don't treat him like a man. He feels like, okay, this is my wife. So if you're coming home and you're tired, as your man, I'm supposed to protect you and take care of you. So I got you because that's my role. In the same way, as a woman, if I see something's going on with you, it is my role to nurture and protect you. So I'll take care of you. So you learn to take care of each other. I may nurture you in my protection of you, and you might take care of me in your protection of me, but we're both doing the same thing for each other. But I think, like I see both sides of the coin. I think sometimes that maybe women are tired, then they might be angry. It might be something else, right? And then you speak to your man a certain way. You treat him a certain way. You have an energy about him a certain way. And he feels that. And it could go vice versa.
Marie, I think that you're putting a lot of it on like the woman treating them.
No,
But
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
It's
a lot
vice
of time
versa.
there's a lot of resentment when it comes to like relationships where a man expects a woman to treat him a certain way.
Right.
But he's not. It's like I don't remember who said this. I think it was Carrie Hilson, where she says that you have to act a certain way for me to be submissive to you. Right? I don't remember exactly what the quote was, right? So it's like, if you don't protect me,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
like, how am I? Yeah. So okay.
But that's exactly.
But no, I know you. I heard you said resentment, but to me, it's like a lot of time when the woman starts acting a certain way, it's because she's resentful of the husband. It's like when you're making money, and we're good, we're making money, and you're using the money for the right things. I think that the woman is good. You know, I like to cook. I never expect a man to cook. I don't know if it's because except my dad, he'd be cooking all the time. But you know, it's like if you are spending the money in all the wrong things,
right.
you going out to the bars, you going out to the strip club, and we don't have enough money at home. When I'm cooking and I'm like, fine, now I have to.
You're gonna be
money
resentful.
I'm gonna be resentful, and I'm gonna feel some
Absolutely.
type of way, and I'm gonna be like, I don't even have respect for you.
Agreed.
And then there comes a whole other things of problems. Now I talk to you
in a way.
That's
what I'm saying. See, that's the thing. It's like, first of all, because this article goes into it, you got to find somebody that suits you, right? That's part of the stuff that, like, people do get into relationships, right? And sometimes it's only one person working at the relationship. And when you got one person working at the relationship and trying their best, it's not going to work, because you know what? The person is trying to give their all. They're working on the relationship and they see you're not doing anything. And then that is going to create me feeling some way about you. And I am going to talk to you a certain way, right? So that I agree. I think it's about finding the right person. But this article is basically saying what happened is men were accustomed to getting what they want. So men in that example are accustomed to, you do stay home and you cook and you do the cleaning, even if you work, and I do go to the bars and do what I want. And when I come home, you don't get to question me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. So when they're saying that American men are no longer interested in American, you have to really evaluate why, because you don't get to be a tyrant and be reckless, and I don't get to question you. This is a partnership. So what you do affects me, vice versa. So I do get to question you. So that is very problematic when they say, no, she's not submissive. She's not submissive because you don't deserve it. You're reckless.
Yeah, but I think culturally, women from other countries, maybe they choose not to question certain things. And I think that there may be more
to their detriment.
Listen, it's a lot of men, and then I'll say it's totally different, because, like Alan says, if you're willing, and you know, people might say some things, but if a woman here is expecting you to give her or to give her $5,000 every week so she could get a pair of shoes, a bag, or a month or whenever, when you go to another country, you can give this person $100.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different thing.
Right.
And so if you're giving me this $100 every month, you don't have to live here. I don't have to see you. But when you come, I'm going to treat you like a king. And this is what a lot of people say. She treats me like, yeah, because you know what? That little $100, that does nothing for me, because I'll spend $100 in 2 seconds
Here.
When I go to another country, it's going to last me a week.
Right.
And I will be able to buy me whatever I want, eat for it. Well, now I don't know how much, because I don't know how,
Inflation.
I know my country, but I don't know how it is in other countries. But, $200, $300, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm going to treat you like a king. Every
Why
time you
wouldn't
come
you?
visit.
And
Every
you're not
time-
even there in my face every day.
And you're not even there. But even if you were, I think that is the thing. And I think that we, just women in general, we take so much more. Like, we're willing to accept so much more when there's an abundance of funds involved. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Compared to when we're lacking.
Right.
Because it's like, dude, when there, and I think Jada said this in one of the past, when there is money,
Right.
I'm not expecting as much.
What you mean when you say you're not expecting that much?
You're not expecting us. I don't need you to be in my face all the time. And I think that the conversation was the husband worked or the boyfriend worked long hours.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to be in my face all day sending me a text message, because you know what? You're taking care of me. The money is there. I can find things to do to keep me occupied.
Okay.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be another person. You know what I'm saying? But I will find things to do to keep me occupied. So I think that we do accept. There's a lot of people that are okay with their husband having a mistress if there's money involved. So yeah, I think when there's more money, things are better.
I think that we're wired. Men are wired to provide security, and we want to provide security. We want to take care of you. We want to do all these things for you. But when what we want to do for you costs so much, it is so difficult. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like if I'm making $900 a week and my wife is into Payless shoes, let's say that's the it thing for her. She just wants the look of it. And if I give her $150 out of my check, she is happy. She's flexing it. She's feeling good. But it doesn't work like that. I give my wife $150, she's going to be like, oh, I just paid one thing. That's like so tiny to the overall scope of our life. It doesn't, and then it's more, and then it's more, and then it's more, and then you need more. So when a man travels outside the country, you realize you need less, and you need less, and you need less to satisfy a woman.
Right.
To make somebody feel whole, which is, I think, is what couples want, right? You want to feel whole when you're with somebody. You want to feel, and somebody want to feel whole when they're with you. So if it's going to cost me $500 a month to be happy, then I got this woman in my head
happy, though?
truly happy.
No, because, okay, like.
Can't speak for men, Marie.
I'm not.
Truly happy.
I'm not speaking.
Real happiness.
So, because I feel like you're doing a disservice to men when you say that. Because all you're saying is a man ain't nothing but a financial provider. Like that, your role, your whole existence and your whole identity is based and surrounded in your ability to provide financially. And I feel like men are a lot more complex and they need a lot more. The satisfaction that you'll get from providing for your woman and your family, I think, is one facet of what will make someone happy. I think you have to take into consideration the man and what he wants from a woman. Because, okay, once I am able to take care of that financially from you, now what is that dynamic in our relationship? You know, how, like, the energy we're going back and forth with each other. Like, take the money out of it for a second, right? Because he could provide for an awful woman. Do you see what I'm saying? And she does nothing to fulfill him as a man. Yeah, she has sex with him. Because you have to see, after a while, things get old. Cool, I'm able to financially provide for you. Okay, that high that I got, that satisfaction, after a while, that's going to go. Okay, we have great sex. Okay, after a while, that's going to fade too. What else? There needs to be more sustenance between two people for a relationship to actually really be whole. It can't just be financial.
I you know what I think sometimes? I think that there's a lot of times where we make things so difficult. And it's like, and I think that that's an issue, because if you really think about it, it'd be the little things that make somebody happy. And my thing is, okay, sex is here, but necessarily when a man goes to another country and there's a woman all rubbing him all day long because that's what he needs. He needs touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That might be the one thing that makes him happy.
Right.
And for her, maybe it's not the money. Maybe security, and maybe having 100. Because believe me, it's $100 is not gonna solve all her problems. Probably.
No, but
maybe she feels secure that this man is going to financially provide for her. She's always going to eat. She's always going to have a roof over her head. And that if, God forbid, she has a problem, he's going to be, the support that she needs in order to take care of it.
Right.
And maybe that's what makes her happy. And maybe, the sex might not be it. It might not be, him being there all the time. But that might be just security is what she needs.
Right.
He might just need that attention every time he travels or every time, they're there. She's always attentive to him.
Right.
But maybe he wants somebody that cooks, brings him his food. And that, I just think that we make things so hard. It's like, oh, I need to be able to, sometimes it'd be like things that are so small that brings you so much satisfaction that you just be like, damn, I just need somebody to bring me that plate.
Right.
And it's like, and it's just so, and you be thinking that men are so complex. And I think that they're very simple humans.
Look,
they are.
we had.
They are. But hold on. That's the point I was just trying to make, is that because, like you fixated on that finance piece so much. And I think on both ends on the spectrum, we have to show each other some grace. Like women have to be like, okay, he's still a man because he doesn't make $500,000, he can't, financially fully cover our lives. That doesn't take away him being a man. And in the same capacity, men have to show women grace, that women, all right, like women are coming into their own. They do feel empowered and they want to contribute. They want to be more than just somebody that comes home that's kept the house clean. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to go back and forth with you. I want to be a partner with you. This is where I'm at. I think we both need to show each other grace so that the pressures that we're both putting on each other, because that's what it is. Men are feeling this intense pressure that they have to financially provide. And if they don't, they feel inadequate. And then so they get bitter and resentful and create passport bros. Women are feeling resentful because they're saying, just because I have to work and contribute and do this does not take away my femininity. I'm still a woman at the end of the day, and I still want you to take care and protect me. So we're creating all this conflict because we are not showing each other grace.
Okay, I want to clarify something very important. I can't stress how much it's not about money for the passport bros. It's about value.
Yeah.
If you take Steph Curry, and I don't even want to be funny with him, for the humiliation and embarrassment that his wife did to him on national TV because some muscle dude came out and she started trying to take her ring off. She was like, ooh.
Can I know the story?
The muscle man was coming from the back and she was like, oh, let me take my ring off. Like,
was she joking?
She was joking.
Everybody knows that's his wife.
He's so serious.
Lonnie, come on, stop.
I don't.
Lonnie,
Everybody knows. Number
so,
one, and can I just say something? That guy wasn't even all that hot. He was not good looking like that for her to do all that.
That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that
he's a little cutie.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that you can't make it about financial because in all fair consciousness, there are women that would never do that.
Okay.
Do you understand? Even in a joking way, they won't do that. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
And there are men who won't be offended by that.
No, I'm sure he's not offended. He got 30 blocks of women waiting.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he's gonna.
He's probably
like,
not.
If she leaves him, it ain't like he's gonna be like, oh my God, I can't find somebody else.
The relationship is different.
But I'm saying that he's probably not offended.
But going back to what Lonnie was saying is like, yo, look, it's you look. As humans, we need three things, in my opinion. We need spiritual, physical, and mental. We need spiritual to keep ourselves strong, for our spirit to be strong. Mm-hmm. We need physical, which is what you say, what most women think. Men go out there just for sex. That's physical. And then, we need spiritual, physical, and mental. When you get to these countries, these women give you a mental break you didn't even know existed. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that mental break that you get is foreign to you. You like, damn, I ain't gotta even think about nothing. I'm being catered to.
Right.
I'm being so mentally,
Right.
I'm good. Physically, I'm good. I can't speak for the spiritual part.
Definitely not.
We don't know. We don't know. But the point of what I'm saying is that a man here in America could get the same thing. But if we would say a foreign country like Thailand, let's say the threshold starts at $1,000 a month, in America it's probably $10,000 a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I listen. I think I agree with Al. Like I agree on the reason why men go to other countries.
Right.
But and I think that the women there can provide all the needs, right?
Yeah.
But I do know that, and I'll just say this for some people, the passport bros and all that stuff, a lot of them go there looking for women in the wrong places.
Mm.
And I think that that's where it's an issue, where women over here are like, damn, why you going, like, you know what I'm saying? You're looking for these women. All they have is the body.
Right.
They playing you because you're just sending them money all the time. And when you go there, they just want to go out to the resorts and you know what I'm saying, show off, bring their whole family. I had somebody showing me the girl, the whole family in the resort. And I'm like, dude, she playing you. But listen, he was happy. That's what he wanted. And maybe that's what brought him peace. But I think that there's some men that really do go out there looking for the right thing. And I think that there's some women that actually want to find a man that provides them the security that they need and whatever. And they find that. And maybe some people are happy. But it'd be like,
is it superficial? Is it like the people that you say, for example, are going for the wrong reasons, right? It probably fulfills like a whole ego thing and whatever it is. Is it like a completely superficial thing, like in terms of, and it's okay? You think they don't know they're being used, but that it's an exchange?
I think some people don't know that they're being used. And I think that some people get so much satisfaction from it that they don't even care. It's like, dude, I get everything I want when I go there. So it doesn't even matter that she's playing me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be together. It's like.
But are y'all going to be together forever? Like,
some women, they could take it. They will be in this situation forever.
So I keep flying, like, let's say I fly once or twice a month over there.
Eventually,
depending on where it's at.
The expectation is that, and I'll be honest, because I am Dominican. Okay? And there's times where I went back home and, you know, you see people from my neighborhood and they're all like, oh my God, so-and-so is here, so-and-so is here. And people will really try to get with you. And you have to, I would never do it because I already know the game. You be people on my Facebook that you so-and-so. Remember? Some guy was like calling me love. Dude, I don't even know you. And I don't like people to call me love. You know, I blocked him. But sometimes you go back home and there's these guys from your neighborhood that will really try to get with you because they want to come up here.
Right.
And then, you know, they do build there's people that have, I know plenty of people that's how they've come here because they get in relationships with women that they don't even like. Okay? They're not attracted to them, but that's what they want to do. They want to come up here. And a lot of these women and a lot of these men do that. And they'll bring the woman and, you know.
Do they build a relationship though?
No, I like what Lonnie is saying because there's a twofold to it, right? There are men, even men that were in America, they got deported over there.
Mm-hmm.
And these are not ugly looking guys. They know how to talk. They're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So maybe on a psychological level, think about this for a second. Maybe in relationships, we're not releasing enough endorphins. We're not releasing enough these happy energies that has been almost suppressed in us.
Mm-hmm.
So whether man or woman, but mostly men, when you land in Thailand, when you land in DR, when you land in Colombia, when you land in Costa Rica, you got a release of energy that you didn't even feel could be released. And maybe that, in a sense, may have a spiritual attachment to it.
No, it's like, that's just like using drugs, right? So the neurotransmitters get released and then you get a euphoric high. And then that is addictive to you.
That happens to me every time I go out the country.
Yeah, because
as soon as I
know, you got great neurotransmitters coming out and it's making you feel happy. The thing with that is it's not sustainable. You have to be like, okay, what kind of life do I want to live, right? Because the high is you're gonna need it to be higher and higher and higher and higher. It ain't got nothing to do with no spirituality. It's got to do with the pleasure principles of your brain. Everybody has that. When you like, I don't want to generalize, but when women go shopping, or if you like to go shopping, right, and you get a nice shoes deal, you come home, you happy. You going on the trip, you happy. You going out to when you gotta
package that
and
Amazon.
I promise you, when you gotta pay them bills, when you gotta do these things, you know what gets released? Stress hormones. So now you stressed out. You got cortisol pumping through your body, your stomach getting bigger because that's what cortisol do. You're not happy. You're stressed out. And human beings are not meant to be in a constant state of stress. So if you are in a constant state of stress here in the US, you're working 60 hours a week, you're still not making enough money to pay your bills. The woman you want don't want you because she wants money. When you land, of course you're going to get pumped with a whole bunch of happy neurotransmitters.
Yeah, but if you get you a woman that is in a whole other country, you don't have to get a big old apartment. You get a 1-bedroom apartment because you live there by yourself. And guess what? Now you're going to have enough money to travel every month.
You're living good.
Go back home to your girl where you have a little nice house that costs you half of your rent, right? Yeah, eat good every day. You know, you out here traveling, experiencing a whole other country. Not traveling everywhere, but inside the country. And you don't even have to bring her here. Because guess what? You see her all the time.
And that's the same thing. You know, in Haiti, there's people, I used to never understand it. I'm like, bro, you live in a whole basement with one room. And then somebody's like, do you know who that is? I'm like, yeah, that lives in the basement in one room. They like, no. When he go to Haiti, he's a king.
He's a king.
He has a house.
Fact.
He has 2 cars.
Fact.
He got a maid.
Yep.
He is like, when he goes to Haiti, so for him, he'll take those stress
here.
Yeah, he'll take, what's that called?
But
What
is
did
it
you
a
call
stress?
it?
Cortisol pumping.
He'll take those stress here. No, he'll take the stress here.
He don't have
and
no
then he
stress
releases
here.
it when he gets to.
But he don't.
No,
you living in a basement, paying.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's not as stressful. Now, if you have to get a whole apartment, bring your whole family, take care of kids, you can't even afford daycare. It's a whole situation.
Boy,
now you got 5 kids. You support all of them. And with the money that you do with one job.
That's why a lot of couples, right, end up moving from here to these countries.
Down south.
Or even down south. Yes, it's less, but I watch a lot of HG, House Hunters International. Shout out HGTV. And what happens is if you watch it, you'll see, and that we're not talking about older. You got couples who have young children, you have older couples, and they're just like, you know what? Living here in the US, it's like the stress of just trying to maintain. Like, we could buy a house in Costa Rica for a fraction of the price of what we would, and then I'm going to work remote and I'm going to do that. So really, it's not the pressures that men and women are feeling from each other, all of this based on this article. It's not so much that there's a problem between men and women. It's a problem with the stressors that are putting their foot on our backs and we are reacting. That's really what it comes down to.
Yep. And I agree. Like, I was telling you about this couple, this young couple, right, this morning. They live in a house that they don't even have, they have a stove, but they were making food they're poor in DR. They're poor, right? The guy, the Dominican boy, he's dating a Haitian girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how Dominican women now are expecting men that if you don't have money, you cannot be with them. So this is happening all over the world. You know what I'm saying? It happened all over the world. So he goes to this big time show and he's talking about how this woman that he's with now, he could be broke. And all he enjoys the fact that she comes and she rubs his back and she says, you know what, it's gonna be okay. And they cooking on a little stove on the thing. And I'm just like, it is all over the place. It's not just here.
Yeah.
It is all over because certain women are expecting certain things. And not everyone is going to be able to give you those things.
Facts.
But the thing is that my thing is, how do you fix like something like that where there's going to be like, damn, you cannot afford me. I don't want to be with you. So now we can't be in a relationship. It's like, how do you fix that?
That's not the person for you.
Well, wait. There's a few things that come into play. You also have to be very honest. If a woman says to me, you cannot afford me, I may say, do you know your market value?
Why?
Right? No, because think about what I'm trying to say. It's just the same thing. When a man goes and become a passport bro, he is honest with himself.
Right.
He says, my market value in America is not big enough.
Yeah.
I cannot afford this.
Right.
But if I move my market value from here to Costa Rica and I'm going to get all of this, I have more value here.
Right.
And what human on earth, man or woman, doesn't want to feel valuable?
Everybody wants to feel valuable.
So if I'm in a relationship and there's a family member that was in a marriage for a long time, and for the first time, I think in like 12 or 14 years, this family member traveled outside the country. They ended up staying outside the country for over a month and a half. When they came back, I was a child, so I didn't understand. Their attitude towards being married changed. They were upset. They didn't want to be in that relationship no more, and they left that marriage because it was like, why would I allow myself to be treated like this when I just realized what my value is somewhere else?
Not even my value somewhere else, maybe with someone else. Like, that's that part. Like, okay, I understand you walk to a woman and she's like, you can't afford me. You know, I'm not a man, but cool. Like, that's not the person you should really want to be with aesthetically. And then the thing is, the article goes into that too. The article is saying that part of the issue is that a lot of men are searching for these quote unquote perfect women. And when this is the perfect women, whatever is aesthetically pleasing to whatever man, you know? So he wants her to look a certain way and plus do all those things. Now, when we're talking about market value, you have to assess, I'm not trying to be shallow, but if you guys are in the same lane, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying for you to settle and be with somebody that the world finds unattractive. But what I'm saying is maybe also not be as shallow and start looking at the character of some of these people that you're dealing with.
I don't know if y'all watching Married at First Sight, okay? And I started watching it. I don't know if you. I know you didn't watch it, but
I'm still on Alchemy.
And I think that a lot of the issue is, like you said, people's characters, right? There's this lady there that she's very, into designers and she likes the finer things. And I guess that the people from Married at First Sight send them to this hotel. And she's like, this looks like an old people's home. Number one, it's like you have to give people grace, right?
Right.
You have to act like, you just have to have manners because that's manners.
Right.
She's married to this guy.
So they got married.
They got married. She's married to this guy. The guy he's a firefighter. He looks like he's okay. He's not like poor or anything like that. He just looks like he's a regular guy. He dresses nice, but he's not into the designer and all this stuff. But it's the way that you interact with people. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes she can come off as like she's being demeaning to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's just rude. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of people that don't even be having no money. Sometimes you're just rude. So you're never going to get the things that you want because you don't have like manners. Your parents didn't teach you how to interact with people that are maybe not in the same level as you. But it's like you have to keep that because people don't want to, rich men do not want to deal with a woman that does not know how to interact with other people. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like if you're going to be rude to somebody that's a server or somebody that could be in the same level as you just with manners, like you have to understand, I don't want to be around you.
Right.
So sometimes it's just so rude. And it be the people that don't have no money. It don't even be the people with money. It be the poor people.
That's because I think they're acting the way they think people with money would act.
No, it doesn't work like that. And the thing is like, damn, like it'll show that you just so like your mentality's poor.
Right. Facts.
And it's like you just so poor, man. It's just and it's just be sad. So it's like Come on. And then it's a lot of times when you go to these other countries, these women are just humble. They be out here
That's the
cleaning
word,
on
humble.
on Saturday. They cleaning the whole house by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just what it is. And sometimes you don't need somebody that just sitting with their $100, just being pretty. No, I'm going to clean the house. And this little $100 that you sent me today, I'm going to save it because you coming here next week. And I'm going to make sure I buy a little outfit so I can pick you up from the airport.
A little feast.
We're going to have dinner. And I think that that's what people want. And sometimes, and I think that we could do that here. But I think that the problem is that women mostly, and I'll say some guys too, but women mostly have become so freaking rude because they think that they deserve, so entitled. They think they deserve so much and you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind cooking, cleaning my house, looking crazy 4 days a week because on the weekend we're going to be looking cute. But it's like you have to do certain things to deserve things back. You know, you do want your man to treat you right. You do want him that if he has an extra, $200, $300, $400, maybe a couple thousand, he give it to you. But if, you know what I'm saying? You have to earn it. And just like, and I don't think that it's just the women. I think it goes both ways. If the man wants a certain treatment, he has to do certain things. You have to treat me right. Don't be out here playing me, commenting on all the girls' Instagram posts, talking about, oh, you look so cute. Comment on my post. Tell me how cute I look. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we have to earn certain things from our partners. And I think that that's what the issue is. And if we don't talk, listen, I want you to cook. This is what I want from you. When we get into the relationship, I want you to cook. I want you to do this. And in turn, I'm going to do this for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a healthy.
And I think that's the thing. And that's why people go to other countries because they know that they're going to get the things that they don't even have to ask.
Right.
But just even what Lonnie said, like if a passport bro is going to, let's say, Thailand, and he got the girl waiting, she bought the little dress.
Yeah.
She did the little this. She did. And then she's like, oh, I didn't have enough money, but the money that I did have, I got us a little boat. I wanted to get you the bigger boat because I know you like fishing. I got the fishing. Like all this attentiveness is happening for you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's sort of like when you're here, I guess what the article is saying, men are saying, is like, yo, we may not excel in the bigger things.
Right.
I may not excel in a Birkin bag. I may not excel in the Bentley truck for you, but I could excel in some things that are smaller. But what the woman is saying, my phone bill is $410 a month or $200 a month. My disc is, she's basically saying just to meet my bare minimum for me to enjoy a picnic, my bills is $2,100 at the end of the month, and you not helping me.
Hold on now.
What kind
No,
of
I'm
phone-
talking about.
what kind of phone you got?
No. I'm just saying there are women that are paying their own bills, taking their own stuff,
Are we
doing
talking
their
about
own
the
thing.
dating market?
We're talking about the dating market because the difference between a man and a woman when it comes to dating, and this is very common, and I'm gonna say this: a woman could be making $10,000 a month, and her rent is $1,500 or $2,000 a month. If the man offers to pay the rent, she's gonna be like, it's sort of like a relief and happiness for her. She could do it for herself, but she'll still accept him taking care of it if he's in a financial position to do it.
Are they in a relationship?
In a relationship, regardless.
I think it depends. And it goes all with the entitlement.
Yeah.
Number one, we're not going to be dating for 6 months and you're going to be like, I'm going to pay. No, you're not, because you're not going to be staying here every night.
No, it's not about the rent paying, Lonnie. What I'm trying to say to you is that's why you'll see very common when a woman makes $250 a year, she's looking for a man who's making $500. She's never looking for a man that makes $125. When a man is making $250 a year, he's okay with making a woman that's making $75. But what I'm trying to say is that look at it in that way. If you're making $250,000, that's $5,000 a week. You still looking for someone who's making $10.
I don't want to say that in a general term, but I like we've all heard that, and I think it's just something that's kind of drilled into like society wise into women's heads that if you're making 200, 500K per year, you have to have somebody that can match that. And I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think what they believe that means this person is on my lane, because they make the same money that I make, that they have the same lifestyle.
I'm saying there's people out here making $500,000 a year, and I could be making $250,000, and my money lasts me more than their money can last them. It's just, I just think it all depends how you deal with your finances.
Right.
Because you could be making $1 million a year. My little 500,000 would be more.
Yeah.
It's longer than your money because you got debt. And let me tell you, it's like more money, more problems. It's
Yeah.
like that $1 million, you owe the whole million.
Mm-hmm.
You owe the whole million. So it's like you owe the whole we got nothing.
Right.
But my little 500,000, I only owe 250.
Yeah.
So I have a whole 250 to spend.
Right.
So it's not about, I don't think it even has to do with who's making more, who's not making more, and who's doing whatever. I just think it has to be with, you have to freaking be humble. It just goes back to that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we living in this house. You don't have to pay. We have to come to an agreement when we sit down. This is what we are going to do with your $0 because you have $1 million of zero. That's what you have left over.
I got $1 million in debt.
You got $1 million and my 250 that I have left. This is how we gonna do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to make it. And I don't think,
Partnership, though.
yeah. And I think it's that. And I'll just say this: I think everyone, you have an option. It's your choice. You know what I'm saying? You decide who you want to be with. And if you want to be with someone that's making $1 million that might not even really be $1 million, then go ahead, look for them.
Keep
And
looking.
you know what I'm saying? A lot of these women from other countries, they don't need a Birkin bag. They might be cool with a Coach.
You don't need a Birkin bag.
I don't.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
give me the
Like,
money.
Yo, just chill out.
And I think that's the thing. And we think about the women, they be like, I need a man to give me a Chanel bag, a thing. When you go to these other countries, I think that some people, not everybody, some people are so humble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Women have drank the Kool-Aid. That's the problem.
And I think that's the problem.
That's the thing. We live in an age of like social media. And the thing is, whether it is social media, popular culture, so you drinking it because it's just like you see it and you think that equates you being valuable and being happy. So you chase it. So you're like, I want a 6-figure nigga. No, where you going to meet him at?
Let me tell you.
Where you going to meet him at? You're not going to meet him.
No, you could meet him.
Girl, no, you not.
No, you could meet him. But number one, 6 figures, Marie,
No,
could be 100,000
no, but
even.
Lonnie, the girls who say it, okay, no disrespect. I'm not talking about the song. But every time I hear the girls that comes out that girl's mouth, he can't work a 9 to 5. He has to be an entrepreneur. Ask him to spell entrepreneur. And they can't do it. And it's just like in their mind, they can't even spell it. They think they're going to meet it because they drank the Kool-Aid. They're thinking that equates to my life being taken care of. Don't have nothing to bring to the table. Maybe a face card. And then, every woman thinks they got the golden vagina. And that's it.
Aaron said the $6,000 pussy. You don't have it. It might be worth $40.
Do you think he wants to take you out to dinner with his business partners?
No.
No. He's going to take you to the Motel 6 and then do what he has to do and be done with you.
But it be those women that get the cappers. The guys that be out here and they just capping. They be on the Instagram with their friends' money and they all make the same video. It be their 5 friends and they all, let me see it. And they be out here, you know what I'm saying?
Scammers.
Or the scammers that is temporary. Next week he gonna be in jail and there's gonna be zero money.
Yeah.
But the people like that. It's like we had a conversation here with someone that said that those are the guys that they like.
Scammers?
The scammers. So it's like, listen, if that's what you like, that's what you like. If you think that the money is, it might be exciting.
You might like the adrenaline because like at any minute you don't know when it's gonna be over. Like, yeah, that's.
I just think that there's, if you need to go to a whole other country to find your person, I don't know, because they're hard. You know how people talk about soulmates.
Yeah,
they might be in another country. That's why it's so hard.
It's
so hard to find them.
They could be, or they could. Like, I think people need to stop being so shallow. Like, everybody, like, you so shallow. All you're thinking about is superficial things because you think that's going to make you happy.
Yep.
And then the reality is, if you are fortunate enough to get those superficial things, you will realize that that is not going to make you happy. And then so now you're going to be chasing something even bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what I'm talking about with when you got those endorphins and everything pumping in your body. You're always going to chase a happier. You might have got the Chanel bag, right? And now you're good. No, now I want a Birkin bag. No, now I want this. Because you're looking for everything outside of you to get this happiness. And it's like you said, it's usually the smaller things that people do that make each other happy.
Yeah, and I think even people, people with money, they be so sad because maybe they're not getting these little kids. Their parents are rich.
Oh, yeah.
They're not getting, the attention from their parents
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is it'd be hard sometimes when you're not used to it, But it's like they be the ones that are not the happiest. So it's like,
Yep.
what do you like? Like I said, I think that we just need to keep it simple when it comes to like relationships. Like we need to realize that maybe, and even regular relationships, what your partner needs is not, because these guys are over here in the chat group, whatever they do with the lady getting naked.
The
Maybe
webcam
they just
girls.
want to talk. Like, listen, if your husband might just want you to get naked in front of the camera,
Go
while
in the
he
other
talks
room.
to you. Like, just, you know what I'm saying?
Go in the other room and be his webcam girl.
No, listen
Sometimes
to
a
his
dude-
Facts.
Facts.
Because he just want to complain.
Or
Guys be
talk.
complaining.
It's not necessarily
Guys
complaining.
be complaining all the time.
People complain all the time.
Women complain too, but
Everybody complains.
let me tell you, it'd be hard when you have to hear a man complaining.
What is he complaining
Now
about?
He go into the chat room to complain to these other international women.
Yeah, because he's paying them. It's just like if you go to a therapist, you could complain to a therapist.
You could go to the other room and send me the Cash App, and I'll take my clothes off
And I'll listen to
and
you.
I'll listen to all of them, and I won't even say nothing. You talking about me? Wait, did you see? Remember that comedian? I think I sent this to Alan. The comedian said that one of his like supporters or whatever was on the page talking crap, right?
Mhm.
And then the mom was like, "Don't be talking about my son."
yeah.
He went on another page and was like, "Bitch, shut up." And then his wife went on there. He was like, "I got a couple things to say to my wife," and he was like, "Fuck you." It was crazy.
Yeah, you showed it to me. I saw
Yeah,
it.
it was funny. But
All right. In conclusion,
We just want to say that if you travel and the first time experience, I think you're kind of gonna go through it.
right.
But eventually, I think like they say that there's a old cliche that goes, women cannot go back in lifestyle and men cannot go back in sex.
Okay.
Meaning that when a woman gets used to a lifestyle, it's very difficult for the next man to wow her or woo her or whatever, right? When a man get great sex and affection and attention, it's really difficult to spend 2 weeks out of the country and come here and like a woman starts talking nonsense in your head. You're
Right.
probably not.
But is
Go-
that real life though?
It
you
is
just
real
going back-
life.
no, are you just going back to your real life? Like you went on this cool vacation for 2 weeks without me, where you was
and you cheated.
probably, and you look,
You said
everything
he
is good,
cheated.
right? But I was here taking care of the bills and the stressors and stuff like that. So when you come back,
it's you know what I think it is? It's a reality that we all deal with as humans in a sense that, damn, this is my fucking life.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And people say that. Sometimes, I mean, by the grace of God, I've always been blessed. I feel very blessed. Thank God for my life.
Mhm.
Me, when I go on vacation, I'm trying to leave because I don't even want to be there that long. Right? Because I like my life. I enjoy my life. And I'm
Right.
so grateful for that.
right.
But I do also understand when somebody's like, damn, this is my fucking life.
Yeah.
And they're like, they just came on vacation. They had such a great time. And then when they get back home, they barely want to go there.
But we gotta be honest, because I think that we talk about this a lot on Eight at the Table, where it's like, dude, you need to communicate with your partner that your sex life, because you're talking about sex, your sex life sucks. And y'all need to make some changes. And if you make the changes and it still sucks, then maybe y'all don't need to be
I'm not even talking about sex.
You did.
No, I'm not even talking about sex. I'm talking about maybe why a man goes out to the country, right? Maybe he's getting the attention.
Why are you
the
going out of the
affection.
country by yourself?
Well, he's going with his boys.
Oh, maybe a boys trip.
A boys trip. Listen, we gotta go, but before we go,
Alan, I got
look. Before we go, don't forget, the women are almost like the new men down in Jamaica. The women are going down to Jamaica. They're getting their backs rubbed.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
It'll be everywhere. Somebody gonna cheat, they gonna cheat
That's what I'm
regardless.
saying. Like
You could be in a
You could
happy.
be single.
Okay, you could be single. You could be in a
mingling,
thing.
whatever.
You listen. If your person is in another country, go ahead, go find them.
And you could go right down the shore and you will find somebody to rub your back and cheat if you
Yeah,
want
but-
to. You do not need to leave.
It says American men are no longer interested in American women.
Right.
So you
Agreed.
might need to go somewhere else.
But I mean, or we could get to the root of the problem.
I'm saying you could communicate with,
saying? Communication.
Yeah.
Get to the root of the problem.
No, you know what it's like. Before we get off, you had your nice little boutique or corner store there for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're charging $16 for a battery. You know batteries don't cost $16. 3 new stores open on the block.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, don't equate that to women.
I'm not equating it to women. I'm equating it to relationship.
You
but
really
I'm really
are.
not. I'm just saying that,
are.
like Lonnie said, if you're an arrogant person, man or woman,
Yeah.
and I meet 3 humble people, guess what? Either you got to become humble, or I'm just gonna be over here.
How about you tell me what you need? And I think that's another issue too. Just tell me what you need, and we can work on it. And if it doesn't work out, then maybe you do need to go to another country. I might have to go to another country too. Then we just go international.
Yeah, you're not going to tell me there's not a single woman in America that you...
No, America has beautiful women.
That's what I'm
America
trying to
has
say.
very humble women. America has some of the nicest women. But what I'm saying is that we're saying that what men are experiencing
I get it.
is an inflation. They call it...
I got it. But what I'm saying is, just to get to the root of the issue, right? To get to the root of the issue is that let's try to think about what is the problem. And if you sit there and you peel the layers as to why American men are not, messing with American women, it is not an unfixable issue. It is a completely fixable problem.
I think they just don't want to do the work. And I think that that's part of the issue too. I think that and I'm not going to say just men, we as people like things to be easy.
Facts.
Right? Like, I don't want to have to do the research on Google and look for this. And I ask ChatGPT, listen, how do you get it? And I just ask the question and I already have the answer. It's like in relationships, that this type of woman is already going to has been programmed from her childhood to do these things. Now, if I have a new woman, I have to have a conversation. We have to sit down. We have to compromise. We have to figure out if this works for both of us. And it's too much work. I'd rather do this than do this. So, and I think that that's the issue. I think that we're lazy.
You want it to be easy, but you got to think long term.
But Marie,
long term,
I think that you think that it's temporary. People are really going out of the country and having long-term relationships with people from other countries, and they're together.
I know that they're doing this. This is nothing new. This is like when soldiers were, stationed in Vietnam or wherever, they would marry the local. This is nothing new. But what I'm saying is, and I guess it depends on the man and the woman, and if that level of relationship works for you, right? Everybody people want deeper connections, right? There are people like, I want a deep connection with my person. And then there are people who are about deep as a puddle. And being in these types of relationship may work for you. I'm not saying that you can't have a deep relationship with these people or these women. But what I'm saying is, more often than not, you're going there for some other reasons. You're not going there to meet someone to form a deep connection. That's not why you're going.
Unless you're on that app for international dating.
You're still not going for no deep connection. You're going for the things that you're going so that you can feel valued.
I don't think so. People really look for love, and people really think that they will find it.
Love, but that if you want to lie to
me, they made a whole show called 90 Day Fiance,
and that's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, but don't forget that's Hollywood. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are gonna hear a lot more next Tuesday. Definitely tune in. We should be around
Passport
lunches.
Poppy, hold on. Passport Poppy lives in the Philippines. I want to know, did you 90 Day Fiance somebody? Are you the other way?
Fiance
the other way. Okay, let us know in the comments.
Let us know. We'll reply in the comments.
Yeah.
Guys, we promise you guys this is definitely a new lunch show. So I'm giving you guys right now, Lonnie and Marie will be in the comments answering questions and replying and interacting with you guys. Talk to you guys later. We'll see you on Thursdays live. And then we'll see you Tuesday at lunch-ish.
Yep.
Thursday at 9-ish.
Oh, we're going to be here Thursday, but next week we'll be here Tuesday.
Thursday 9-ish for 8 at the table.
8 at the table. Bye, guys.